Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Angela. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share. Before I get started, I want to go over my disclaimers. If you are in immediate danger, please call 911 or you can reach out to the domestic hotline at 800-799-SAFE, 800-799-7233. And for mental health resources, reach out to NAMI at 800-950-NAMI, 800-950-6264, and you can also text at 741741. With that being said, happy Friday, and thank you all to my subscribers that's watching and commenting. I appreciate your comments, and I'm glad that you're seeking spirit and getting out of whatever situation that you are in. And I hope you continue to heal, do the healing. Don't let anyone tell you that you'll be okay and you don't need to take steps to do the healing. So with that being said, I want to talk about the movie Training Day. So I know this movie has been talked about many times before. I've watched it a few times. I just recently watched it again for my own reasons. I wanted to just watch this to see his traits, because him being a narcissist, I know some people, or I know a person like this, or I should say some people. So anyway, I just wanted to watch it just if I could see the similarities. In doing so, I thought it would be a good idea to come on here and talk about what I saw in the movie. So to me, I just broke it down in 3 stages. The first stage was Denzel trying to get Ethan it was love bombing in such a way that you may say that he was mean to him at the beginning of the movie. He was rude, but it was love bombing because Ethan wanted to be in this unit. He somewhat looked up to Denzel and the way the unit worked without knowing who he was looking up to. So when Denzel would say certain things that seemed to be rude, or as if he's making fun of him, Ethan would kind of laugh it off. He didn't really just say, I can't deal with this, and he would just laugh it off. And he had his own reasons. He had a wife and a child that he wanted to take care of, and he wanted to make more money. So sometimes when you have family or people dependent on you, you'll do things that you normally wouldn't do just to get ahead. So anyway, all through the movie, he's talking to him any kind of way and pretty much belittling him. He talks about his wife. Ethan, tells him not to talk about his wife. He flip it and say, well, whenever you come to work or come to the streets and you so sensitive about what people say about your wife, that could be a reason you could end up losing your life or getting me hurt. So that's what he says in a roundabout way. So he always justifies why he talks about this boy's wife, or how he justifies why he talks to him this way. So he tricks him into getting high. He has a long spiel about why he should know the drugs that's on the street and whatever, and the way he obtained the drugs, the way he scares these young kids, and he doesn't write up a report or anything. It's street justice. And, at this time, Ethan is looking at him like, we should do this by the book. And Denzel is constantly reminding him, if he want to do things by the book, then he's not going to fit into this unit. So he kind of backs off and just go with the flow. So after he gets the drugs, of course, there again, Denzel, like a true narcissist, tricks him into taking the drugs, and then not only just by what he says, he pull out a gun and put it to his head. Now, at this point, Ethan doesn't know whether he's going to kill him or not, and he don't know who he's dealing with. So he's afraid. So of course he takes the drugs. And at this point now, he's high because of all the things that the drugs is mixed with. But I want to say, even in his state of vulnerability, spirit shows up. you know, so he's really high, and they're driving around. They did a few things. They go and meet with an old friend, and this old friend is Denzel's old friend, and they're all narcissists. You know, they have their little pack. So they talk about his retirement and all this stuff, and Denzel knows the man has money. So anyway, they leave, and you know, I think if I'm not mistaken, they go to Macy Gray's house and try to get money there. I could be mistaken, but anyway, he's driving along. I want to skip along to the part where he sees this girl being attacked. Even in his state of being high and drunk and confused, he was able to see that this person is being attacked, and he gets out and he tries to do the right thing, or he does the right thing, and he helps this girl. And after the beating and all of that, he noticed that her wallet is lying there, so he picks it up and put it in his pocket. So I want to say right then and there, even when you're on your worstest, on your last leg, when you feel like things are just falling and things are coming out of or going out of control, Spirit is always going to be there, and you just have to be mindful enough to see it, and you have to open your eyes up to it. So in this case, Spirit was there for him, because even though he was drunk and high, he did the right thing by helping someone. So, you know, as the story goes along, Denzel is, he meets with the other narcissists. Now, these are the super dark narcissists. They don't care about anything. He introduced Ethan to them, and he gives them such glowing reviews, and you know, and he tells them to go sit down and grab a steak. And it's always a dismissive, so it's like a relationship, just the way a man or a woman would treat somebody in a relationship. He's always dismissing Ethan. And so they sit there, and they're talking about what happened in Vegas. One of the narcissists says, I don't talk to dead men, and he says, I'm not dead yet. So you could tell that they don't care about each other. It's all about them. So they start talking about this one story about the one judge that got played by the guy that they arrested. This officer had arrested, and she thought he was crazy, so she sent him to the mental hospital. So the guy was so upset that this guy got off. He said when he get out, he was going to harm him. You know, he was going to get rid of him because he didn't like being showed up. So that's a true narcissist. He's going to do whatever it takes to stay on top. So they're talking to him about what he did. They're talking to Denzel about what he did in Vegas, and telling him, you know, maybe you should hop a plane. So even though he's a narcissist, Spirit doesn't just turn his back on his creation. You know, the guy said to him, maybe you should just hop a plane, you know, and he couldn't take that as something he should do, because these Russians were not playing. So he was like, no, I got it under control. So he's pretty much asking for a favor. You know, he's asking if he can tax his friend that has this money. I think it was $3 million. And they said, yes, just don't end up on the news, you know. And he said, oh, I'm just going to tax him. So they're led to believe that he's just going to get the money that he need, and that's it, and, you know, have him up on a warrant. And then Denzel pays for that warrant, and, you know, calls his men, and they go in later and do what they do. So it's just to say, you know, he goes in and he tells the guy that a warrant is coming down, and he's only doing this because he has to. And now the guy is just stuck with being robbed. He can't really say anything. So the twist turn. Instead of Denzel just taking the money like he said he was going to do, he ends up setting up Ethan again by having him hold this gun. He tells him to shoot him. Of course, Ethan is looking at him like he's not going to do it. So he takes the gun and he does it. So now there's another setup. Keep in mind how narcissists work. He got him high, you know, and he had drugs in his system. Now he has killed the person because this guy couldn't just be a liability, you know, couldn't just be someone that they put in jail, because they knew that he would have started talking. So Denzel sets him up even farther. So now he explains why he set up and how he's got witnesses that's saying that he was the one that did this, and then he said he'll make sure his blood get to the lab. So now at this point, Ethan is starting to wake up, starting to see that this person could care less about him. So still, in the true fashion of a narcissist, Denzel goes to his girlfriend's house, visit with the child, and leaves him and the child out there on the couch. Then they get up and then they go to the drug dealer's home, and they see, you know, he talks to him and he leaves him there. You know, I'm leaving a lot out of the movie because I'm just making a few points that I noticed in the movie. So he leaves him there. I'm getting close to the end. He leaves him there, and the drug dealer is there to do one job, and that's to get rid of Ethan. Ethan doesn't know this. He doesn't even know that he's been left. So they come in and they start talking, and then, you know, of course now he's aware that his life is about to end. So he does something. His police training kicks in and he tries to do whatever he can. So anyway, let's jump to the part where they have him in a tub. So the guy searching his pockets, he sees his niece's wallet, and he asks him how he get it. So he's listening to Ethan pretty much beg for his life and tell what happened. And here's where spirit intervenes again. So the guy, you can see that he's listening to him, and before he does this killing, because most people, they just, you know, in that line of work, they just go ahead and finish you off because he's been instructed to do so. And so, you know, prior, they were sitting at the table talking about how Denzel was a low-life person and that he didn't like him. So that right there also worked in Ethan's favor. So he said he was going to call. So he calls, and he talks to his niece, and she's telling the story. He can tell now that she's not being truthful. And he said, I need you to be truthful with me. So she tells the whole story, and she tells how this white boy came in and out of nowhere, and he saved her, and he did whatever he did. And so at this point, you could see this change in the guy who was getting ready to get rid of Ethan's face. He helps him up and, you know, thanked him for what he did. And then this is when he goes, so this is when he gets on the bus, Ethan, and then he goes to find Denzel instead of going home, because now he's upset. You know, he realized that he's been played the whole day, you know, and he's been set up, and so now he's going to go arrest him, and he know at this point is going to cost him his career. So, but he's still bound to go and help. So he catches up with him at his girlfriend's house, and like a true narcissist, remember how he talked to his son and pretend to have some care and love for this child. So keep that in mind. So he gets to the house, and when he comes in to try to arrest him. And of course, he tells the little boy to hide. This is Ethan. And Denzel, with no remorse for what's going on, he starts to do what he can to get out of it. He flicks the cigarette, and there's a gun under the bed where he shoots and misses Ethan. But not with any regards to even ask where his son is. He didn't care that gunfire was going to be in that bedroom where his girlfriend was. So anyway, they start shooting. And of course, the little boy runs out. And the first thing Denzel says is, what is your training? It's to protect and serve. So right at that moment, you see how he doesn't try to save his son. He pretty much throws him into the line of fire. So Ethan has to put his life on the line and grab the little boy. And of course, he was safe, and he runs out of the window, and here, coming toward the end, they're fighting. So it's still in Ethan's mind is to do the right thing, to arrest this man, to get him off the street and tell what he knows. You know, of course, if it went the other way where he was arrested, he would have lost his job and Denzel would have been in prison. So a narcissist don't like to be told what to do. They don't like to be locked down. So like I say, Spirit was all in this. He had a chance to just give up and surrender and be arrested and go to jail, you know. But in this case, he was hell-bent on getting this money and trying to give it to the Russians. So he never did succeed in this, as we know by the end of the movie. But another thing, you know, he's in the projects, and all these people are surrounding him, looking at what's going on, and Denzel is asking them to shoot him, and he'll give them money, and you know, to stand on his behalf. But like I've always said, when a narcissist is falling down and things are coming undone, people start to see it, and good people won't have your back. You know, they're not going to stand for you and stand up for what you have done. So this one guy, you know, brings a gun and say, you have to earn yourself. You earn your way around here. And then so he goes on a tangent, cursing them out and saying all kinds of things. So as soon as he went to pick up the gun, Ethan shoots him in the ass, which that was funny. But, you know, here's the thing. He's so bent on doing it his way to where he can't see that things, if he only had just been arrested, he probably would have still been alive. But it's, you know, a narcissist. They have to do it the way they want to do it. So anyway, after that scene, it dawned on Ethan, you know, the streets is going to deal with you. You know, it's something he said earlier in the movie. He said smiles and cries. He said, that's the only thing that you have to control. He says that when he was drunken, you know. So he realized at this point, I can't control this man. I can't make him do right. He's got too many ties, and he's worthless at this point. So let's let the street deal with him. And then at this point, this is how he walked Ethan stop doing, you know, stop trying to help him. Because I know you all may say, well, how is he helping him by putting him in jail? He wouldn't have died. So he just gives up, you know, just the way you would in a relationship. You've done everything to try to make this right for this person, and they're doing the most. So all you can do now is give up and walk away and let the chips fall where they may. So, you know, he gives up. Of course, Denzel goes and, because he's so cocky and arrogant, you know, he's sitting at a light, and that's when the setup for him from the Russian comes, you know, and he's so at the very end, he's still so in disbelief that this would happen until the fact that he gets out of the car and stands up. Most people would have tried to get out on the other side, you know, or not stand up and face bullets head on. But his arrogance calls him to get out, and of course they open fire. So I just wanted to do my little analogy of the story of the movie and just say a narcissist, when they're that far gone, when they're that dark and their soul is lost, they will do whatever it takes to stay on top. As I mentioned, he threw his son under the bus. He didn't care that his girlfriend was in the house with the gunfire. He set up Ethan all throughout the movie. He robbed his best friend, and still at the end, he ended up losing. So when I say that karma is a bitch, trust and believe it is. There's nobody in the world that's going to be allowed to continue to do such evil things and not get away with it. And I don't care how long it takes. You know, this movie was supposed to be over a span of a day, going into the night. So I just want you to know that no matter how long it takes, they will reap what they sow. You can't continue to do things like this and think you're going to get away with it. No matter how many people you have hurt and how many people you have kept down and everything that you have done is coming back to you. You know, most people think that narcissists do them wrong and go ahead and move on to somebody else, and that's the case in most cases. But keep in mind, their time is up, their day is ending. So don't think that they're gonna live forever treating people like this and they're gonna have a good life. No, it's not. Things are coming to an end. This year especially, people have started to wake up. They see what they have been dealing with, and they're turning on them. And the narcissists, like I've said once before, they're running scared. They don't know what to do. But you don't want to be in the middle of them trying to get out of this karmic debt that they have to pay. So if you're in a relationship with somebody who you know is cutthroat and will do anything to stay on top, even if it's not something that everybody else can see, but you know it because you've spent time with them. Like Ethan knows this person was cutthroat. Everybody who Denzel spent time with knew he was cutthroat. So just because the police department, and yes, half of them were crooked, didn't see how bad of a person he was, Ethan knew because of the time he spent with him. So just like the person that you're in a relationship, everybody may not know, but you know. And trust and believe, others know too. People who have dealt with him know how he is or she is. So trust and believe that it's not just a secret to you. But if you're in a relationship that's really bad and you know you need to get out before things turn to abuse, or before you lose your life, please do whatever it takes. Make sure that you protect yourself. If you have to leave the items in your home or the things that you own, leave, go to a shelter. I know that a shelter can help you better than you just being out on your own or going to a family member. And don't sit around and tell the narcissist your plan. This is whatever you're going to do. Keep it to yourself. Make sure that you're not telling anyone. I hope you enjoyed my analogy of this story. I watched, like I said, a few days ago, and it was just so, it was a reminder to me to know that a person that you know, what I'm trying to say is a reminder to know that people in my life that I may not see that way are just as capable of being that way. And so I want you to understand that this person in your life that you may be going through some issues with, they're capable of being cutthroat and taking you down by any means necessary. So like I said, I hope you enjoyed my analogy of the film, and I will see you again next week. Enjoy your weekend and make sure you take care of yourself, and don't lose any sleep over worrying about if you can help this person, because you can't. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share. If you know someone that's going through this, watch this, share this video with them. If you're the one that's going through this, watch it as much as you need to.